A big thank you to Vanna and Marty. After helping previously with the little one, they again stepped in and collected another one for us in Louis Trichardt that somebody had found there that was very dehydrated, very skinny, very hungry, and they picked him up for us and brought him through to meet us halfway so that we didn't have to drive all the way. So, a big thank you for some good Samaritans out there. Again, the eyes of a very, very troubled face. You can see it's very sunken. This little guy's very dehydrated. We're not too sure how long he was left on the side of the road before people managed to pick him up. The first lot of people who got him didn't know how to feed him or anything. So thank you to Vanna and Marty who did get some liquid into him. But you can see how sad this little guy looks.
Let's go interview Dave. Well, boy.
But I'm a little bit worried about him. I think he's a bit dehydrated or something.
His eyes look sunken in the photo.
Yeah.
So
found yesterday.
Big boy, huh?
Yeah.
Boy, girl, did we see you?
looks like a boy.
I don't know. Would you a girl?
So what's the story?
Well, she said she found him in a tree yesterday. And
Okay.
the rest of the monkeys
Find him in a
gone.
tree?
Yeah, just sitting in the tree. Very dehydrated. He
So-
might need to get subcut fluid, so just check with Josie because his eyes and everything look very sunken and he just
Yeah.
seems lethargic. You know, it doesn't seem...
Mm-hmm. We can give him some by syringe just to get him
Yeah.
going. So
Just being Loveland.
So the babies are arriving so quickly. We've actually got 2 already in Neverland, being looked after by Anne. Hi. So we're having to use our second baby cabin, which is usually our night shift cabin for this one.
Hello. You're quite big, aren't you?
It's a bit dark in here, but
Let me have a look at you.
no, just close it. Yeah, just close the door over. It's locked. It's very dark. Very dark in here, huh? Let's see those gums.
It's a little pale, but it's not too
No,
bad.
it's not too bad.
The eyes aren't looking too bad.
They don't look as sunken as they did in the photograph. The skin is very sticky though.
Yeah.
So
Should we have a look at your private bits?
there's a boy.
Yeah.
You can tell from his face he's a boy. He's got a boy's face.
When we relied on that method, Mark, it's not gone
Yeah,
too
but
well.
when he gets to this age, I feel like you can tell. The boys are slightly...
Daisy
well, it
Mays
depends
looks
who it
feminine.
is. He's got the long little boy's face.
Another boy. What is with all these boys?
Hey, buddy. So I think you can just check his...
Mm-hmm.
Just got it. Oh, yeah. No, a little scratch.
Coat feels really nice and clean.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet it's clean. Probably washed him.
Okay. 37.5.
No, he's about 5 or 6 weeks old. He's about 5 or 6. Yeah. He's quite big. Like, he's bigger than the others. He's just very skinny.
So we've just given him some subcutaneous fluids because he is quite dehydrated and he's lethargic and very thin, and he doesn't drink very much either from the syringe, not willingly, so we're just giving him this to support him. and then
Hey.
see if he will try some rehi shortly again.
Sorry, it's over, huh?
Well, you can certainly see with this little one, it takes a lot of time. It's a little drop by drop to try and get him drinking. But finally they all managed to get it done. And wasn't too long before we had him over on the milk bottle. And of course, once you see him on the milk bottle, you can see his eyes and everything changed. He's become a lot brighter, a lot more aware. And of course, he's getting around a lot better. So a lot of effort on the team just to pull this little one through. But of course, now he's looking fantastic, drinking well, and soon be eating.
Oh, now you're hydrated. Let's give you some bob. Some papaya. What's that? That's yummy, isn't it? No? No. What you doing with it? I'm not used to these foods. Not sure about that. What is that? You want some help? No. No.
Their little Nino. Such my mango, having a little play.
So there's one of the new shelters in the Dino and Daniel troop, and Lucas was just tilling over the soil with the new machine to make sure that we have lots of nice shoots and vegetation come up for the monkeys.
Little Oswald doing a lot better. You can see there's no little black ring around his eyes. He's starting to explore, and even this little face he pulls when somebody calls him, a little threatening gesture. And it's kind of crazy that such a tiny little animal actually knows he's got to do this kind of stuff to threaten somebody.
This is the sixth orphan, baby Oswald. He's just been with the VMS for a day. He's still very nervous.
Well, I think he's very happy with what he's found. He's really enjoying the new tastes and stuff like that of the fruit, the pawpaws, the bananas, the apples. He just doesn't want to stop eating it because at the same time he's trying to call his mom with his mouth full.
Is that yum yums?
Well, this is always the hard part, is the little calling out for their mother. It is kind of heartbreaking for the people working with them, and no doubt for the little monkey as well. It doesn't matter how much comfort you give them, they're still going to look for their mother, they still miss them, and it takes quite a while for them to get over the trauma of losing their whole family, and quite a few days before they actually settle in and just accept their new situation.
Screaming at a wasp that's flying around inside.
So we're day 2 for Oswald. It's first thing in the morning. Very screamy. He didn't sleep too well last night, and he's still a little nervous. Every time there's a sound outside he screams a bit, but he's starting to settle down. He was quite dehydrated, but he's had quite a drink of rehydration this morning. He's beginning to eat. So he arrived quite late yesterday, so he'll have a full day today, so hopefully that helps him a lot.
It's a very high-pitched sound that they make, because this is basically something that the mother can home in onto and find them when they're in a thick bush. So it is designed to be very high-pitched so the other monkeys can hear them.
It's just an update on Smith, who was injured. Remember, we caught him and took him to the vets. He's now doing really well in Coco. You can see his hair's growing back as well. Here's Peggy, orphan from previous years. You may remember Peggy and Jolie. Down at the Coco troop. There's Brownie and Coco troop. You'll see her in the distance. She's got the one arm. Remember, she had it amputated because she had a very nasty injury. But you can see she's still able to climb trees. Doing very well, even though she is very old. Somewhere in her 20s. Coming over for seeds. There's Casanova walking past. Such a sweet old lady. The local team have been busy not just raking the enclosures but also tilling them, turning over the soil, because you can see after the rains we've had, then some grass and some shoots have started to appear, which is great because that means that the monkeys can eat them as well. There's Panicure, one of our great foster mums. There's Hercules and Coco. There's Loose Stick on the left. And there's Carla behind. There's Carla on the left and Loose Stick on the right, and Hercules in the middle.
Well, at least these little ones are sort of settling in. Daisy May here up the top, and little Cappy around the corner there. And of course they got some nice green forage, and this is what they're chewing every now and again. So it is very important that we do give them some of the natural stuff so that they get used to it. This little team will actually be going out soon to meet some of the foster moms. You can see little Roddy right down at the bottom there. It's also doing very, very well. So they're just learning to climb at the moment and get themselves around. And hopefully it won't be too long before we can go and take them and let the foster mums down at Skunky enclosure start getting used to them and seeing how they're going to, or which little monkey they're going to choose eventually. Well, little Roddy's gone and found the grass. You can see he's sort of enjoying that. So it does help. They put these grasses in different places so that it helps him climb as well as finding it and chewing on it and getting a the nutrition out of it. So monkeys do eat quite a bit of grass, and even the ones around the foundation really do love it. So it does play an important part in their diet. So little Cappy, and he's found some of the foraging grass. Not that he really seems too much interested in it, but at least he's also starting to climb and get around. Daisy May in the back there. So they are playing very nicely, managing to climb up and down without a problem. So they shouldn't do too badly in the introduction cage. Well, after having a rough morning and playing around and jumping and exploring and finding grass and chasing each other, of course you've got to have that midday nap just to rebuild the energy so that you can keep everybody back on their toes in the afternoon shift. You can see little Cappy's getting ready, having a look around and saying, I wonder if I can get up to any mischief. But normally they're generally good at this time and take a good little break and give them enough energy for after lunch to start misbehaving again. Well, when you want to have your milk, you don't have to climb into the cage completely. Just make sure you can stretch over and reach the bottle. And that's exactly what Daisy May is doing. She was, I don't know if she was just so thirsty or just likes the milk, but didn't wait till she completely climbed in and started drinking from the feeding cage. So this is quite good. As you can see, she is quite accustomed to it now. And we always just got to make sure they climb in and out without any problems and they don't get frightened with it, so that they can copy this behavior and do exactly the same thing when they're in the big enclosure.
Okay, we're just moving one of our new arrivals. He's a little 1-year-old here. And we've been keeping him with his friend in, here he is. We've been keeping him with his friend in the back of Disneyland, but obviously that's only a temporary place. So we're gonna set him out here into his new second temporary home. He'll be a little nervous until we bring his friend over. Who you can hear in the background. So he's not going to be permanently here, but it's the safest place we have for him right now. Okay, let's get his friend.
Here we have the friend. And Archie is.
Well, the little one's now called Chip, and the older one, Mrs. Potts. And you can see how these two are really enjoying the space together. They are very good friends, so it does give them both the confidence. Showing some nice corn on the cob there. And hopefully they'll settle in and get used to some new friends and new members.
Here she has an enrichment package. So that's cabbage with some seeds and some treats wrapped inside. That enrichment helps to have something to do. It's less boring for the monkey throughout the day because they can't forage as they would be in the nature. And so it's something she can do, she can focus on. And especially when they're nervous, that helps with abnormal behavior as well, because then they can just focus on unwrapping this enrichment, finding little treats, and calm down.
Well, whoever put this enrichment package together really did a great job. Mrs. Potts there hasn't ripped it apart completely. And you can see what good friends they are. She's not too upset with the little guy coming in, and you know, also trying to get some of the seeds off the floor. So there's Chip now having a little go himself. So yeah, very nice enrichment if both of them can actually manage to enjoy it.
This is the global side, so we can see the troop monkeys. So you can see they are all very excited and want to meet the new monkeys.
Well, hopefully friends to be. Just shows you how inquisitive everybody is, wanting to see who the new folks on the block are, what they look like and how they're going to behave. So it does look like they might actually make some friends in the long term.
So we have here our Disneyland babies. There's Roddy and Cappy having a cuddle in the back, and little Daisy May at the front here. We're taking them for a trip down to Skunky Troop so they can start getting to know the monkeys that are going to become their family. The boys have met them before, but it will be Daisy May's first time. So we'll see what the monkeys think of her and what she thinks of them. But she's really, really interested in monkeys. Always looking at the bandits and James Troop, so hopefully it will go down well. Here she is. Already got a bunch of monkeys at the fence. So we just set up a little blanket for us to sit on with the babies, as they're still quite little. We don't need them in the dirt all of the time. You can see already the babies haven't even been revealed yet. But there's monkeys interested to see what's happening. Hear a little bit of lip smacking from some at the fence. All very excited. 3 babies instead of 2 now. The babies are a bit sleepy at the minute, but it's kind of a good time to bring them down when they're not bouncing off the walls everywhere. We've got Button here. She was really interested last time as well. She doesn't quite know what to make of the babies. Here she is. Daisy May looking at the Skunky Troop members. She's been very calm since getting here. Very interested, even when they're very noisy. Here comes Renee and Button to say hello. Orphans from 2 years ago now. Button, as always, not quite sure what to make of them. Bless you. Daisy May right up towards the fence. Really keen to get to know the monkeys. At the alpha female paradise at the fence here. She absolutely loves the babies. Has been lip smacking at them ever since she got here. And particularly she really seems to like the look of Daisy May. Wants a little girl.
So we've got Aisha here, and she's actually got a stick stuck in her hip. So we're trying to get her in right now. So we don't know if she had a fight or and then fell. Get Aisha in, but she's climbed right to the top of the trees. See, she's still got that stick on the left side out of her hip. And obviously we can't get up there. So Becky and Connie are trying to put some food in the intra cage over there. The rest of the troop are going in, so that we can get her in and organise for her to get help. Okay, she's coming down on the ground, but she is in the bush, so with that stick hanging out, we're just worried she knocks it on something. We don't know how deep it is, but you can see there is some dried blood there.
We managed to catch her just shortly after this, take her to the vets and get the stick removed.
So if you can is in there, yeah. If you take a temperature before I do, I'll just take the dressing off. So if I get you to do, I'm going to grab another 20ml syringe, and then if you can clean that one like you did yesterday, what you can do is just put it literally at the exit again, and then
I think it's harder to see now because
harder, is it? There's a lot of dead skin here. Lots of dead skin here. That's good because it was all. Yeah.
silver?
Yes, you can use silver. Thanks. And the only thing is that the cream, it's incredibly sticky, difficult to get off. But we're going to put another layer on, so it doesn't have to be immaculate. So we'll put the extra layer on today.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Can you see it?
Very close.
Okay. give that a flush as well. And we need just a photo of that as well to send to the vets. And this is the very tricky part. Like putting putty on.
Further away shot. Where's the... Oh, that's...
Okay, everything's covered. Okay, wait a minute, Missy. You're not done. You're far from done with the bandage yet. And squash it in. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, a monkey with such thick skin. It's crazy.
She does, doesn't she? What did I do yesterday? But she needs something to keep it on. Okay.
So we're just going down to the James intro cage where we have Aisha, and she was our patient in sick bay for the last 2 weeks because she managed to impale herself with a branch. But she's recovered very quickly. Here she is, very chatty, and her wound's healing just so nicely that we're just going to actually just let her out into the troop. There's no need to keep her in here. The wound's healed over. So let's see if we can get her out. You might have to just just leave it open. There she goes. Very vocal.
Well, somebody's certainly happy to be back in the troop and back home after the major ordeal that she actually went through. Was quite scary for everyone, but looks like she's healed and she's back with her family.
Think she's happy to be home. And now the troop get to enjoy the leftover sickbay diet. She's still talking away.
You can certainly see we're right in the middle of baby season, and this is another call out that we've just had. Apparently the mom here was caught in a snare. Not too sure what happened to her, but while they were working on the farm they found this one still apparently lying near the dead mom, and have brought it, contacted us, and we've gone to go and collect it. Looks like a little boy, so we'll be getting him back to the center as soon as we can. Well, it took him a little bit of a while to start trusting me, and so that I could actually start driving. He eventually settled down, and this is where he slept, in the crook of my arm, basically the whole way back through to the foundation. Every now and again just having a look to see if he could notice his troop or his mom. So it's very hard to say what actually happened to him, because he's still actually calling out for her every now and again. But as I said previously in other videos, this is kind of the sad part, is that they don't give up. It's when people separate these animals from their moms and things, even as taking them away as pets, they must remember she's going through just as much trauma as what this little one's going, and this is how they actually miss their family. Even though it was a bumpy ride all the way home, this little one basically was comfortable now and just sort of stayed where he was, sleeping most of the way, and wasn't really very much of a problem. So hopefully it won't take long to get him some friends and get him back to how he should be, and find him a new mom so that his life can carry on as hopefully as normal as possible.
And it's another day of a new baby arrival.
Dehydrated, you say?
Yeah, is that about 2 mils of liquid?
Syringe, I assume.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't see anything else wrong with him except his marks on his face.
Okay.
They say he was caught in a snare somehow, so I don't know how.
Got him. Hi, sweetie. Perfect. Okay, thank you. Welcome to our special care cabin, little one. Blanket for you. I know. It's okay. Let's have a look at you, huh? Oh, mouth's a little sore, eh? Oh, you are skinny. Very skinny. Yes. Yeah, it does look like mostly just the face for injury, but very, very thin on the hips. But not as thin as Oswald was. I know. What is it with all you boys? Huh?
Of course, the first most important thing is with these new little ones coming in is to make sure they're hydrated. So we try and give a mixture of rehydration fluid that we make up with honey, Himalayan salt and water, and try and get them to take that first before going on to milk.
Right. What happened to your mouth, huh? Yeah. Can't give you away. Wriggle out of your burrito.
Then, of course, the next important thing is weighing. This helps us to find out if he is actually putting on weight from the milk or getting enough milk and things over the period of time. So weighing him every now and again is very important. But of course, keeping them in the bucket to get the proper weight sometimes isn't the easiest thing under the sun. This little one is behaving himself quite well, so it was okay.
You go heaviest, Bubba? Huh?
So he's 479. Not as heavy as Oswald.
So he's staring at Going to be a warm day, so Floki's been sitting in the shade, just resting. We've got Charlotte integration going on in the background there at Gizmo Troop. And they're also building some shelters in Gizmo today, some new ones. It's going to be 40 degrees on Saturday. Make sure all the monkeys have enough shelter and shade during the hot weather. Here's Lilo, investigating the camera. And there's Lila. You can adopt Calypso's Corner online now if you want to keep having updates on Floki and Co. And this little trio all come under Calypso's Corner for the virtual adoptions, amongst Belle and Shasta and Shanti Ray and JB and Sybil. I see Floki and Lilo playing. And here's Belle, all grown up now. Next door to Floki and Co. And then we have Cuddy. And JB. And then we've got Shasta right at the back in the shelter there, keeping out of the sun.
There's a snake coming past. So just alarm called at it. Don't go close to it. There it goes.
Well, as the day is coming to an end, little Charlotte is out, enjoying the sunset, sitting on top of one of the shelters, which have just been fixed and modified just because of the heat and sometimes the rain. And it looks like she's actually gone and settled in to the enclosure very, very nicely. There's a nice close-up of her. I'm not too sure what she's actually eating there, but she seems to be quite confident and settled and enjoying herself. And yeah, it's just nice to see how well she's actually managed to get in after all the trauma and head injuries and everything that she's had, especially with the pellet. And if you remember, she was slightly challenged, and now she's actually become a member of this troop. well. I thought this might be a nice little way to end off with the update on the D&D enclosure. Seeing as though these guys are having a lot of fun, and it just shows you what can happen once they're actually integrated in them. Hopefully Mark will give us a little bit of a breakdown now on some of their names, and some of you out there can recognize them from previous year's orphans.
So this is last year's D&D orphans. We've got Halea, Akoya, Isa Maria, and then also this is Chica now in the center. And we've also got Barney and Turk here, all playing together, enjoying the new foliage.
Thank you, Mark. Well, that brings us to the end of this episode. I hope you've all enjoyed it. We slap bang in the middle of orphan season, so everyone's getting real tired. We're running around collecting little guys all over the northern province, or the Limpopo province at the moment, and trying to help a lot where we can. We're also approaching Christmas, so if anyone would like to help our Workers' Christmas Fund, we're already at 82%, so a very short way to go. Otherwise, thank you everybody for watching, for participating, becoming part of the family, sharing, just being there and letting us know what you think of the videos, spreading the words to friends and family members, getting them involved, watching the ads when you can, and joining our other social media channels as well, which is helping a lot. The channel is growing very, very nicely, and it's really thanks to all of you out there. So thanks a lot, thanks for helping, thanks for participating, and we'll see you in the next video.